Jeannie. I'm a physical therapist with over 25 years of experience helping people to be able to move well, feel well, and be well. So folks, Friday night, I think I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of wine, relax after a tough week. Let me see, I'll get my cap off. That always helps. And I'll go to pour my wine and, oh, my shoulder. Oof, front of the shoulder, it really hurt. Guess I'm going to reach across to my other shoulder. Oh, front of the shoulder really hurts. Sound familiar? Anyone ever have that happen where you have shoulder pain? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So here's our lovely shoulder. This is your collarbone. It's not the best model, but it'll work so everyone can see what we're talking about. Going to generalize things for everyone today. This is based on some of the things that I've seen over the past 25 years. So it does not take the place of going to see your physical therapist or your doctor. But in the meantime, sometimes you have to wait to get in to see them. This might help you. We're going to talk about exactly what happens in the shoulder when that pinching occurs. So basically your shoulder's right here. Just put that down. It is a ball and socket joint. So we're going to dislocate this guy here. You can see the ball fits right in the socket. Okay. It is surrounded by a bunch of different muscles, but the most important muscles are known as your sits muscles. They're made up of 4 different muscles: your supraspinatus, your infraspinatus, your subscapularis, and your teres minor. This is your supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor here, and subscapularis. Now these muscles are actually known as your rotator cuff muscles. Yes, people, not rotary cup, but rotator cuff muscles. And they basically sit and they help to control the movement of the head of your humerus inside that glenoid labrum there. So if these muscles are weak, then this is going to go up way too high, or it's going to fall too far forward, and it's going to pinch those tendons. So again, this is a real generalization for you folks, but most of the time what happens when you have these different itises that occur throughout your body, they are because of different muscle imbalances. And in the case of the shoulder, most of the time, again, can't stress enough, these are generalizations. The front is going to be tight because we tend to sit with very forward posture. So the pec muscles are going to be tight, and all the muscles in the back behind your shoulder blade, those muscles are going to be lengthened and weak. And that weakness and the tightness in the front is what creates these muscle imbalances and can lead to all sorts of problems in your shoulder. So today we are going to talk about 5 of the most common exercises that I give people to help to work on these muscle imbalances. Okay, people, so we are going to first start off with a pec stretch, which is the muscle in the front. So all you need is a wall. For the next 3 exercises, you just need a wall. Pretty easy to find. So we're going to be stretching out the front of my right shoulder. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand on the wall with your elbow slightly bent. Your left hand is going to go also on the wall. And then you're going to turn your feet away from your right arm. And then you can even push in with this left hand to turn even further. And on that right side, I want you to think about keeping your shoulder blade down and back as you're pushing with your left arm to get a little bit more of that rotation. And this is going to stretch out that right pec muscle. Now, when you do this, you're going to hold it for 30 seconds. Going to do it 4 to 5 times. And then, of course, after you finish doing the right side, you'll switch and do the same thing on the left. So now the left side is going to be slightly bent. Right side, hand is flat. You're going to turn your feet around. And then the same thing, you push with that right arm. And you want to think about keeping the left shoulder blade down and back as you do this. Now, I like this exercise better than the corner stretch because oftentimes we have one pectoral muscle that's going to be tighter than the other. So you can, instead of doing them both at the same time, you're doing each one individually. Okay, so that's a great pec stretch. Now, while you're still at the wall, we have 2 more exercises that we can do at the wall. We're moving on to more of a strengthening exercise. So oftentimes when people say raise up your arm, you raise it up like this with your hand facing forward. When you do that, it automatically makes your shoulder turn inwards and has a very high potential of pinching that one tendon. So I want to retrain these muscles how to work to keep your shoulders more open, to give more space for that front tendon. So with this particular exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to put your arm, hopefully you can see, where your elbows and your wrists are in a straight line. Okay, so you don't want the elbows sneaking outwards, which is the usual way that we raise our arms up. But we want to try to teach ourselves to keep the elbow and wrist in a straight line. You're going to find that the border of your hand here is going to be what is on the wall. And then you're going to raise your arms up as high up as you can go, keeping your elbow and wrist in a straight line the whole time. Now, if you have pain, only go as high as you can go to before you have any pain. Don't work through the pain. And then you're going to come back down. Again, the elbow and wrist is going to stay in a straight line. Really important that when you're doing this, that you do not shrug your shoulders up. You want to keep your shoulders relaxed as you go up the wall with your elbow and wrist in a straight line. Now, you can add on to this by when you get to the top, by actually then bringing your arms up off the wall. Just make sure that you don't extend through your low back. Okay, we want our back to stay straight. Back down you go, and then you'll slide it back down, elbow and wrist in a straight line. Now, if you really want to challenge yourself, you can take a TheraBand and put it around your wrists like this and do the exact same exercise again. Now you're adding a little bit of resistance to strengthen those muscles even more. It's just super important that you keep your elbow and wrist in a straight line as you're going up, and then the same thing as you go back down. Okay, so that's one exercise. Awesome sauce. We are moving right on to our next exercise, which is going to be a lower trap strengthening exercise. One of the most important things that the lower trap does is it helps to bring your shoulder blades down and back. And so that is what I want you to think about when you're doing this exercise. So what you're going to do is make a Y again on the wall. Super important again that we do not extend our back when we're doing this. So if you need to kind of pull your abdominal muscles in, tuck your tail under, to make sure that you're strictly only using these shoulder blade muscles to do this exercise, that might be helpful. Arms are going to be in a Y, and then you're basically just bringing them up and off the wall, but you're thinking about bringing those shoulder blades down and back. Hold for a few seconds, and then go back to the wall again. So again, you want to make sure that you're not extending your back. You're just going to bring your arms back and down. You're going to hold for a few seconds. You're not shrugging your shoulders up. You're making sure that they stay down and back. You're not arching your back. You'll hold the position for 3 to 5 seconds, and then you'll come back up. So for this exercise, and for the exercise with the band up the wall, I want you to see if you can actually start with doing 10 of them and work your way up to being able to do 2 sets of 10. Okay, so for the next exercise, we're actually going to get down on the floor. Okay, so now we're moving on to another great scapular strengthening exercise. In fact, this is probably one of the most popular exercises that we do with people in our clinic. It's called a YTW exercise, and it works all the muscles in and around the shoulder blade that help to pull that head of the humerus down and back and keep it off of the front of those tendons. So usually we do it over top of a ball. You can do it also over top of a bench if you don't have a ball. So what we're going to do is get yourself over top of the ball. You want to keep your head in straight alignment with the rest of your body. And when you do these exercises, you want to try to keep your palms or your thumbs up facing the ceiling. So the first one is a Y. So you're just bringing your arms up, making them in the shape of a Y, thinking about bringing those shoulder blades up as you're bringing your arms up. You're going to bring it up, that Y, then you're going to make a T. Okay, so straight line out with those arms, thumbs are up, and then you're going to make a W. Again, shaped like a W, and you want to be able to have those thumbs up pointing to the ceiling. So again, we're going Y and T and W. Or as one of my patients used to say, why this workout? Because nobody likes to do these Y, T's, and W's, but it is such a great exercise to be able to work those shoulder blade muscles, kind of open everything up. And you can make this even a little bit more challenging by adding weights, but start with lower weights, maybe 1 to 2 pounds. Work your way up to being able to do 10 repetitions to start with, 10 Y's, 10 T's, 10 W's, and then try to see if you can do 2 sets of 10. If you want to even challenge your core a little bit more, you can come up off of your knees and be on your toes while you're doing this exercise too. And the last exercise I want to share with you is one again with our handy dandy TheraBand. Again, this is another exercise that will help to strengthen your muscles in between your shoulder blades. So for this one, what you're going to do is just grab your TheraBand. Your elbows are going to be by your side. Now, the closer you go, the harder it's going to be. So I want it to be a little bit of a challenge for you, but I do want you to be able to do 10 repetitions. So palms are up for this one, elbows are by your side, and then you're just going to pull the band apart, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then go back together nice and slow. Super important when you do this that you do not extend through your spine. So you want to try to make sure that you're upright when you're doing this, and keep those arms out, elbows by your side, and then back together again. So you can make this harder by, again, grabbing a little bit closer. You can use a different colored band. Red is the second easiest band. I want you to be able to see if you can do 10 of them to start with. Again, don't shrug those shoulders. Keep the shoulders down. Work your way up to being able to do 2 sets of 10. And you'll just keep going nice and slow. Okay. Okay, folks, so that's 5 exercises to help you to be able to correct those muscle imbalances in your shoulder. So now after doing about 3 to 4 weeks of those exercises every other day, I'm ready to be able to pour myself a glass of wine on a Friday night. And to tell you the truth, folks, anybody who has teenage daughters, you know that the ability to be able to pour that glass of wine is a necessity for a Friday night. So cheers to all of you. Please tune in to my channel, and I'll be releasing videos every Friday. Subscribe to it, like it, put comments, and discuss some of the topics that you would like me to cover. And so I will catch you guys next Friday. Enjoy!